Hey gamers, BDog422 here with another Minecraft storytime telling extravaganza. Ignore the title, that is a spoiler. This was about 2 years into my job as a cable guy, and at this point I have trained a good handful of technicians in my town. With that, I had a trainee coming along with me to help a lady who is having internet issues in her apartment. We try to call her first, but there's no answer on the phone. So we get access into her apartment building using some keys we got from the maintenance team. And we roll up, we stroll past the local meth dealer that just so happens to walk inside and immediately run out. And I'm looking at my customer, my little lady. And do you ever get that uncanny valley feeling where it's like you know something is not quite right with what you're looking at? Like it's trying to deceive you and then eat your entire family? Well, that's kind of what I was having here, because I recognized this lady, but I didn't know from where. And my trainee had a good sense of character smelling, I guess, because he immediately picked up that I was instantly on guard. And then she looks at me, and then she starts speaking in fucking whispers. God damn it, it was the fucking schizophrenic from the other apartment complex that had moved to the downtown area to avoid all of her neighbors hacking her. Why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be me again with a trainee with me? Another middle-aged white guy who doesn't know what the hell to do at this job. I look at him, and I already know there's no issue here. The lady's just having issues with her brain again. So I tell him, you know what, if you want to, you can go ahead and go downstairs and wait at the vehicles. There's not going to be anything to fix here. Uh, Keep in mind, I also did my due diligence of plugging in and checking her equipment, making sure everything was fine. I found no evidence of somebody else tampering with it. In fact, her modem was actually locked in a tiny box with 6 different locks on it, just to show how fucking paranoid she had started getting. But with that, I tell her, hey, I can't find anything, but of course we already know why. It's because all the neighbors are hacking you, lol. But she says at this point it has escalated to where they have 2 people armed outside at all times to monitor where she's going. So the paranoia is getting real, and it's getting real fucking bad, is what it's doing. And at this point, I don't want to humor the situation anymore. Very obviously, this person needs some real fucking help, and it's not anything I can do. So I look at her, and I just go, hey, you know how you said last time you can't really call the police because they hacked your phone? Don't worry. Coincidentally, the police station is like 4 fucking blocks away from this apartment complex. If you want, you can walk down to the station and they will be forced to take your statement. You won't have to worry about them hacking your phone and making your phone calls not go through. Like, well, they're waiting for me outside. It's like, hey, don't worry about that. They're just keeping tabs on where you go. If you go to the police station, they'll probably get a little bit scared. And that little piece of logic must have triggered something in her disease-ridden brain that she has no control over besides specific medication, that it clicks. She's like, you know what, I'll do just that. Still speaking into my right ear, because all she is communicating in is in whispers once again, and I can't hear her in my left ear. Finally get that all said and done, I tell her to have a good rest of her day, and I finally leave alongside my trainee. We go back down to the vehicles, and I relay the situation back to him, and he looks at me, just goes, does this happen often? And no, this doesn't happen often. Like most things, you're probably going to hear the bizarre or bad stories that come up in people's line of work. 9 times out of 10, that's usually because people remember the bad stories more than they remember the good ones. Thankfully, this story had a good ending. Later on, a couple months later, I actually put a little bookmark on this woman's account, just so if I ever had a call come up at her place again, I would know what the hell I'm gonna be dealing with. But it turns out she actually did go down to the local police station, made a police report, and they got in contact with us. Now, at the end of the day, we didn't find any wrongdoing, but it also got her taking some steps into some of our little social benefit programs we have here in the city, and evidently she is starting to do better. So that is a excellent ending to the story for a person who's just completely getting fucked over by a weird genetic mutation that, or whatever the hell causes schizophrenia in the first place. But more power to her for getting treatment. And hopefully never having to have my happy ass come out and try and diagnose an invisible problem that isn't there, and or try to explain that no, I don't actually think 144 people are trying to break into your apartment and hack into your cell phone. But hey, that's just being a cable guy in the Midwest. Anyways, thanks for watching.